Hi guys, just here to talk to you about the benefits of mindfulness for dads. One of the things that we need to be thinking about when we hear the word mindfulness is that firstly it's not about, guys wearing orange robes with not a lot of hair and peace, love and mung beans and all that. It can be, but it's not. Okay, mindfulness is an ancient meditative practice that is really about the stopping of the mind. One of the biggest and hardest conversations that we ever have in our life is the conversations we have with ourselves, and that's our internal dialogue. Mindfulness creates that space between what actually is known as the stimulus versus the reaction. Mindfulness allows us to create that tiny little space in between that stimulus and reaction so that we can actually choose how we react. Choose to react in a calm and mindful manner of what it is that we're doing. Unlike most things that we do, or all things that we do as human beings, we do things to have a particular outcome, or we want something to come from what it is that we do. Mindfulness is not about that. You don't achieve any particular place or thing with mindfulness. Mindfulness is about the practice and the doing. And from that, the benefits are quite often similar, but sometimes different for everybody. The idea of mindfulness is to actually stop. So if you think about every day we get up, we spend lots of time thinking about, clothes, what to wear, how to get to work, what the day is going to be like. Should I make that phone call? Should I make that phone call? Should I go here? Should I go there? We're making decisions all the time. We spend a lot of time getting ourselves ready, but one of the things that we tend to neglect is the mind, and the mind controls everything. If we don't actually take the conscious steps to look after our minds, what happens is the physical, as a result, starts to become very run down. And as these things start to happen, we start to stress out. And unfortunately in men, stress, which comes from numerous different things, but one of the biggest things is fear, and fear of change can then start to manifest in other ways. And this is really significant when we think about how we support, as guys, how we support our pregnant partners. So mindfulness really is a very important tool and a very important practice, and it can be practiced very easily. You can go onto the web quite easily, do some searches. There are lots of mindfulness programs on there. I actually have one that I designed called mindfulnessfordads.com, which is www.mindfulnessfordads, all one word.com. It has a 6-week program. It's free. It's for dads to get in there and have a go. More than happy for you to use with your pregnant partners, and the benefits are amazing. So this is something that you don't have to do every day. You don't have to do for hours at a time. You don't have to buy expensive equipment. All you need to do is listen to the audio recordings that we have on there. They're very short. Some of them go for a minute, some of them go for 18 minutes. And what it does is it gives you that time and the practice and the tools, and that's probably really what the key word is, the tools to learn how to actually stop. I mean, really stop. When was the last time you looked after yourself to actually stop? When was the last time you had that real conversation with the person that looks back in the mirror? And this is what mindfulness is about. This is about the awareness of self, living in the moment. I mean, there are 86,400 seconds in the day, and we can never get them back. When they're gone, they're gone. But quite often we don't live in the now. We are sitting here. I'm sitting here doing this already, thinking about, oh my God, what have I got to do today at work? Have I got to get tea ready? Do I need to go make sure the fire's stoked because it's cold here? All those kinds of things running through our minds. So we're always thinking about the future, or we're living in the past. And this is about living in the now. One of the most amazing things that happens to us as guys is the fact that we do get to find beautiful partners and have amazing relationships, which result in the birth of children. And that is one of the most amazing things in life, regardless of religions, races, where you're from on the globe. Being a parent is one of the most humbling and experiences that you'll ever go through, but it's also one of the scariest. There's a lot of changes. There's a lot of expectations on men. And these expectations are changing. Sometimes they're not clearly defined, and then as a result of this, what can happen is we can actually start to get scared. That fear that we're not quite sure how to talk about or reach out to other people to talk to about becomes turns into stress. Stress can turn into anger, and that can actually become quite a negative experience to be around you as a guy while your partner is actually pregnant. Because basically what happens is if you stress mum out, anything that mum feels, bub's going to feel. Okay, so the last thing you want is your baby to be growing in an environment that's highly charged with stress, because as you imagine, this would have a flow-on effect to how that child will be as they grow older. And we want them to know that they're loved. We want them to know that they're supported. But we also need to know for ourselves it's okay to be wrong, it's okay to be scared, and it's okay to be not sure. But the beautiful thing is mindfulness is probably the key or the tool to learn how to deal with some of these challenges. Mindfulness can be done, again, as I said, it doesn't have to be done every day. It's very short. You can do it for a few minutes and you'll notice the benefits straight away. And again, don't start mindfulness with the aim to go, I want to, achieve enlightenment. It's not about that. It's just about the being. Rather than being a human doing, be a human being. And that's really what it's about. It's about stopping, catching your breath, looking after yourself. There was an old saying, I think it was Gandhi, that said, if there's no enemy within, there's no enemy without. And what he's actually saying there is he's saying that, if I'm safe and okay with myself, then nothing externally can ever hurt me. And we need to do that as dads. We need to be able to go, you know what, everything's okay. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be worried about the changes that's coming, the responsibilities I'm going to have. But I've got this, and mindfulness is one of those tools that help you deal with some of that stress. It kind of makes pregnancy sound scary, doesn't it? And I don't want to do that either. So I strongly recommend mindfulness for any of the dads out there that really want to try and find a little bit more peace in their lives and be able to be calmer around their partners and bring that love into the family that all families need. And this is really important. I really strongly encourage you to have a look at mindfulness for your own benefit. It is a life-changing tool, and you'll be able to do these exercises or do these segments of mindfulness with your partner, and this will have a flow-on effect.